Good morning. Good Sunday morning. I'm so glad you're here and that you took some time to watch this, whether it's Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, or throughout the week. I'm just really thrilled that you came here to listen to this message. So we're on the flip side of the solar flare, or excuse me, the eclipse and the solar flares. They kind of built up and put us into this place where we had solar flare growing, expanding, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it went quiet for a few days, right? And then the eclipse happened. And now we've been in about 4 days of stillness. There's been virtually no solar flares until I think it was Thursday, the 11th, when things started kicking up. We had an M5 on Thursday. We had two, a C9 and an M2 on Friday. And then yesterday we had an M4. So we've been sort of bumping around a little bit more, sort of taking off, using the analogy that the C class is the tap tap and the M class is sort of taking stuff off of us. It's kind of like, how are you doing after that eclipse? So depending on who you talk to about the eclipse was a interesting scientific or astronomical event, right? From astronomy. Or you can talk to someone on the other end, which is we just step through a portal and everything's different. I'm kind of in the middle and lean a little bit towards the portal side, only because I'm noticing that on the flip side of the eclipse, there's so many things that are different than what I've experienced before. So I thought I would navigate with you through a little bit of that and sort of take you through what happened this week, what we can expect next week as we move along. So, first, we're still integrating, we're settling in, we're sort of realizing that there's some real changes that have started to happen within our energy system, within our bodies, within our relationships. And we're like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know what this is all about. However, I'm on this journey, right? So the solar flares have eased, the eclipse happened, the Schumann resonance, if you watch the Schumann resonance, it's had this huge wave of white coming down from the top, which is when there's a lot of energy coming onto our planet or a lot of activation in the measuring points. And it just sort of it's really interesting. I can't share a screen on this live or I would show you pictures of it. It's fascinating. So check out the Schumann resonance. It also over the week had some succinct blackouts for 2 to 4 hours here and there where nothing was happening. Nothing was. We weren't able to read anything that was happening. It was completely blank, and then it would come back on, and you'd see more of the wave coming down, and then it would go back off again. So that's either in reaction to the exorbitant energy and knocking the system out or turning the system off. We don't know. All I know is that if you look at the Schumann resonance, it's telling you something big is very different and happening, right? And then um what I would say is that we got through the eclipse and Chiron was sitting right on top of the eclipse. So if we have this solar eclipse happening, our Chiron wound and greatest gifts has been sort of coming up on it until it sat right on top of it during the eclipse, and then is now sort of slowly pulling off and conjuncting with all of the other planets that have been all concentrated up into Aries during the time of the eclipse. So we're not done, right? We're not done because astrologically, what I noticed is that I can't even read it. I want to know information. I want to find out how to translate it to you, but I'm just like, no, no. I'm still a little dizzy. I'm integrating. And whether it's Mars or it's Pluto or it's Saturn or it's Aries or it's the sun or Mercury, what I notice is that it's bumpy, it's controlling, it's there we're agitated, we're impatient, and I'm like, no, I don't want to, I can't go there right now. I'm gently trying to reintegrate my body after something that happened that I'm still trying to translate to myself and to you, right? So let's just leave it at that. Um, as we have been going through this solar eclipse in sort of an alternative way of seeing the world, or like things might be lighter, they might be different. There, you might have some ideas, your imagination might have opened up. There's a whole bunch of things that have been going on as a result of this. The piece to remember is that the biggest event, not the solar eclipse, but the biggest event of 2024 is coming up on the 20th and 21st of April, which is when Uranus and Jupiter come in and sit side by side. Okay. Now Jupiter's the expander. Jupiter is the possibilities. Jupiter is, what other words do I have? The innovator, right? So Jupiter sort of looks at something and says, let's make that bigger. Let's make that much bigger, right? Let's expand it. And then we have Uranus or Uranus, whatever you want to call it, right? Which is progress, surprises, radical change, dismantling of the shallow that it can't, has no patience for anything. It comes in like lightning bolts and just like, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing that. And if you have a friend or somebody who's like that, you know what a force to be reckoned with they are, right? So these two are standing side by side, which means Uranus is going to lead, and Jupiter's going to go. So whatever we're being guided towards, whatever we're being led towards, whatever we are feeling inside is going to get a little bit bigger on the 20th. And I'm going to say that it's going to get bigger in the way of change. So I brought some interesting cards for you because this is sort of where we've been. It's been really bumpy. Look at the city out here and you can even see sort of the waves of energy going through. This is where we've been for the last month or so, right? And what Thoth is going to say is that this is when we come up on change. This is when change happens and it's profound. I like the way Light Seers puts it, which is we're in the middle of an internal decision of what we're going to do with change. These are all the same cards, which are the Two of Pentacles, okay? The Two of Earth. So the reason that this conjunction between Uranus and Jupiter is so big is that it's in Taurus. And it happens every 13 to 14 years. So look back at 2010, 2011 and find out where you were and know that this sort of big burst of changes happens. However, the last time it was in Taurus was in 1941. So it takes, think every 13 years over the 12 cycles of the zodiac. So it means that we're really looking at something that dramatically changed us in 1941. I know that that's when we entered World War II. I mean, there's just so many parts of the historian in me that are like 1941, interesting. However, my life personally changed in 2010. So I'm going for that one. I'm going 13 or 14 years ago. So when we go to these twos, these are when it's a relationship between me and something else. Now it's not just me, but I have something that I can focus on, something that I can love, something that I can work on. What we're holding is the power of the high priestess. Now the high priestess is a vibrational being. I love the way she is harvesting the energy. She's bringing it in. She's talking to it. She's got a crystal on her third eye. She's got the sparkles in the water, and she's very playful. And I thought, it's almost the same way here. There's the sparkles. There's the light on the pineal gland. There's the crescent moon. There's this bringing of information in. And so this is when we can bring in our vibrational relationship with somebody else. And that's where we're going right now in Taurus, in the Pentacles. This is what's happening with us. Now, there is one piece that I wanted to put out there, which is Jupiter is also possibilities. And this is the Two of Wands as opposed to the Two of Earth, Pentacles. And I like the idea that the sun is coming up. There's a green valley, lush valley underneath, and the eagle sort of got that big view of what do I want to do? What do I want to be? Who am I? Right? So if we're feeling this energy is lighter, it's cleaner, we're a little bit more focused, it's also a little fuzzy. And I don't know about you, but I'm noticing that there's some time shift things like Like I was going this way and then I realized I'm now over here and it's all a little fuzzy and sort of entertaining. It's kind of cool. All right. So, with this big event, with these big times that are coming to us, what I'm going to hand to you is if we're going through these kinds of changes, right? These kinds of beautiful changes, then let's believe it. Let's feel it. Let's welcome it. Let's allow it to fill you with this idea of possibilities, right? Align and trust it and sort of allow it to cut through some of the bullshit that we have lived over the last 14 years or the last since 1941, the conditioning, the expectations. Uranus is just going to come in and say, be done with that stuff. So why don't we just start to prepare for that and go, I'm really looking forward to having a lighter life. Things are a little bit easier because it gives us hope. It gives us joy. It brings that heart into that lighter spot, right? So you can poo-poo this, right? And you can say, she's just blowing smoke. But what I'm saying is that it's really actually easy. You can poo-poo it and say, no, I'm not going to. Or the easy part is, what if just this week or through the 20th, the 21st, it's up through the next Sunday when we meet again, right? That you can decide to own it and you can prepare and align your schedule and your day and your attitude and your imagination and just let go and see what happens. What you want to do is you want to witness this. I love this card. Look at this card. You want to witness this and go, what if? What if something beautiful happens when this lightning rod of Uranus comes in and changes things? And what if there's ways that I can start to put all of the pieces of who I am and who we are in this world together? Because when we use our imagination, we sort of break away the density and the confusion. It takes us out of reactivity, it takes us out of exhaustion, and it lifts us up into something big, right? So, like the title of this is we're in the middle of big times. And of course we are. This is huge. So I have 6 tips for you. Let's see, how are we doing on time? I'll go through these so we don't take too much time. Okay, number 1, be gentle with your body because you're working with unpredictable timelines. You don't know what's going on, and your body has been through a lot, right? It's been intense energy over the last months since November, December, January, February, March into April, the eclipse. So now what we want to do is we want to quiet it down and we want to integrate. Because before, when we were saying we need to rest because you're in the middle of something hammering you all the time, now what we want to do is we want to take some time and go, something's ended, something's beginning. I want to slow down and get present and say, what is possible? So we want to be gentle with your body so that all of this can fall into place. Number 2, continue to hydrate because your cells are changing, right? Everything is changing in our body. So we want to flush it out. We want to get some water in there and make it work, right? We want to take off the sloughing old debris that's in our cellular systems, because we're 72% water. So we want to feed our body with really good water and lots of it. Don't forget to hydrate. Number 3, ground. Ground, ground, ground. Because what we're doing is we're rerouting ourselves onto earth. We're saying, man, I got up and floated. And it's kind of like you crawl out of the ocean after being bounced around by the waves for a long time. And you stand on that beach and you're like, oh, land. Land feels really good right now. It's stable. I know what to do with it. So you ask yourself questions like, where are my feet? Am I connected to my body? And you can say, my feet are on the earth. I'm of this earth. Because we are very much, again, looking at these cards, these are earth cards. These are us in relationship to the earth. So how can I use the earth to help me settle? So ground and reroute. Okay. Number 4, get outside. By all means, at least, here in Montana, the grass is greening, the snow is gone, the sun's out today. It's going to be like 68, 69. So get outside and walk, sit in the sun, be around trees, put your feet in the grass, listen to the birds, listen to the sounds of nature. What you want to do is you want to allow nature to encode and calm down your nervous system and bring you back into yourself, even if it's just sitting on your your back deck or your back porch or sitting next to the window with the window open. Make sure that you get that fresh air, you get that idea that you are part of nature, that you're not separate from it, so that you can chill and you can relax and you can just be outside, right? Number 5, embrace what's coming as much as possible. Stand open. I allow this. I encourage this. I want this. I want this change to run through me. I want to welcome it, right? I'm trying to think if there's a card here. It's we drew this card at the end of class, and it was more like just welcome whatever it is, whatever's coming in, and also get out there and just welcome it as far as visual, as far as time, as far as space, right? Because this wave of change is running through you. And what you want to do is you want to create ways to access the energy that is coming in and going like, wow, if I'm going to have a lightning bolt that's going to take me in a new direction, new job, new energy, new feeling, new anything, bring it on. I want to welcome this. And number 6 is to be compassionate because we're all ruffled, we're beat up, we're changed, we're learning our own ways of coming out of this intense time, and we're going at it really slow, and some are super slow, like I don't trust this is change and I are not friends, I don't know what to do, and we're going to watch them and oh, look at, they're having a hard time with that. Or there's some of us that embrace this and go like, I know exactly what I want to do. Me personally, I'm a change agent, like change is good, change is fun, and I have to remember to be compassionate for people that it's not that easy, right? Because we're all different. So that's what I have for you for today. Make sure you like and share this so that I can get my numbers up. And absolutely thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Be kind.